They've all furiously denied throughout any malfeasance, and when they're not denying malfeasance, they make the point that these were desperate times, and in desperate times, you are more likely to turn to people that you know.
You know what? This is the big problem with this argument, is this went on and on and on for month after month after month. The direct awarding of contracts was rapidly given up upon by, say, all the EU member states. And yet we were still doing direct awards and VIP lane contracts when everyone was being encouraged to eat out to help out. We were well beyond the peak of the original crisis.
So the emergency argument quickly lost traction.
Yes, and the VIP lane in particular, which has already been found to be unlawful.
I was coming to that.
We didn't find anything else like that in the world. No other government introduced a mechanism that said, OK, let's get people that we know to refer in. It reduced the defences against possible corruption of public funds. It didn't increase them.
I'm getting a curious mixture of nostalgia and déjà vu for the days when we were up to our ears in these kind of conversations. And I would be taking calls from people, for example, who worked in the area of ventilator supply or who had an established track record of either importing or even manufacturing PPE, and who couldn't find anybody to talk to. So that, I know that's not part of your report, but it's important to remember that while VIPs could essentially talk to contract bestowers or decision makers within nanoseconds, people who were eminently more qualified to provide what was needed were struggling to get through to anybody.
And this is where the systemic bias comes in that we've identified in our report. That is exactly a consequence of that approach. Now, government at the time, when we did a preliminary study in 21, denied that. I've seen a response from the Conservative Party today saying all ministers declared their interests, all contracts were awarded properly. The problem with all of that is that the bias and the use of approaches that we would attach red flags to happened before the then contracting process took place.
And of course, it took a very long time for some of these contracts to see the light of day, which probably speaks volumes as well.
Absolutely so.
As if they knew that there would be questions asked.
There was a complete collapse in public transparency. And again, we were just an outlier compared to similar nation states.